on the computer so everybody can see. We have a good turnout. She can give you the real numbers, but we have thousands of people that check us out.
Over the course of a year, not at one for one meeting.
No, that's a lot of things. At least watch part of it.
We just ask that everybody speak clearly and loudly so that way this microphone can pick everybody up. So, all right. Yeah, except George, he's plenty loud. All right, 7:01 p.m. Ready to roll?
Ready to roll. Thank you all for coming tonight. I know it's been a couple of months off, but with the politics and the weather and the holidays, we just felt like we really couldn't get a whole lot done. And so we did take these times off. So thank you all for coming tonight and sharing your vast knowledge with us, and we'll help you to know what we need and what we're doing also. So we'll start out tonight with our treasury report.
Well, we're solvent. We have $3,635.55, and we don't owe anybody, and nobody owes us. As of right now.
This is tremendous from where we started 9 years ago or 10, whatever it was.
Almost 11, I think.
Almost 11.
Before my time.
Okay.
Time
So
flies.
we started out with nothing, but through the help of some donations and from my fundraiser over here, we're now very solvent and we have money that we can do projects with and be comfortable with spending the money with it. So it's a great thing to see us climb little by little, but we're getting there where we're comfortable with. Okay, any questions on the money? She didn't buy a new car yet, so she says not enough for down payment.
Yeah, I can tell Matt with this money.
There you go. Cedar Rapids Police Department, Lieutenant Welsh had to go away, but he did drop some stuff off, and I believe that Nicole will speak in for him.
Excuse me. Yes. So the two main updates, he didn't provide enough handouts for everybody, but I will happily send this along with the meeting minutes afterwards. Two main things he wanted to touch on were Captain Dave Dossel at the Cedar Rapids Police Department has been promoted to Chief of Police just this past week. We did share that on social media. But if you want a full recap, I do believe it's out on the city's Facebook page and the website as well. As far as the Cedar Rapids Police Department hiring goes, there are 22 applicants that are still in the hiring process. The current applicants are completing their civil service interviews and polygraphs, and all of the tentative hire date is still scheduled for May 22nd. I don't think that has changed from our last meeting. I don't have a lot of details other than what he provided about the surveillance program. The police department has a surveillance camera registration program designed to encourage citizens to register their cameras with the police department. Again, all that on the Cedar Rapids Police webpage. Lieutenant Welsh did also want to mention that if you get a chance to look at the year-to-date report for the Cleveland area neighborhood, overall we are above the 5-year average, and that is primarily due to motor vehicle thefts, specific to Come and Go and Quick Star. So the neighborhood itself's been pretty calm, but the gas stations obviously keep the numbers going. So I don't have any ability to answer questions, but if you do have questions, you can let me know after the meeting and I can email those directly to Lieutenant Welsh. And again, this will be included with the minutes.
Any questions? Okay, maybe you can enlighten me a little bit on this, but some of the Ring camera companies that are selling rings are trying to pass a law that does not allow the police department to use any of the Ring camera videos.
Or just in general?
Just in general. They do not want the police department to ask people or to ask people to look at their cameras. That's not what it's for investigation.
I would say that under most circumstances, they could probably obtain those under a warrant.
Yep, I'm sure.
But I do know that, I mean, this is with any technology, I should say with any technology. There's some factions or technology companies that don't like to share that readily. But I've not heard that specifically with Ring. I guess I did.
I was just as an example of the kind of camera.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
There's some who.
But there are
don't want
some,
to Do that.
yeah,
or
it was,
without a warrant and that type of stuff.
yeah,
I don't know any specific laws as far as in Iowa where that's being
great, that's good to know,
passed. So,
good to know. And for those of you who do have those cameras, I just found out last month that I have my homeowner's insurance with State Farm, and I went and told them and showed them that I had a camera, and I got a reduction in my homeowner's insurance. So everything's going high, so any chance I can get to bring it down even a little bit, I was going ahead to, and they did all the work for me. So if you have it, but you haven't told your homeowner insurance about it, they don't ask to see it, they don't want anything from it, they just want to know that you have it and that it operates, and they're more happy to reduce my 4%. So it was a plus. So I thought I'd share that with you. So the next one is Captain Smith. Can you tell us a little bit more about how to make s'mores?
That's all right. I don't.
You don't want to be the.
You can call me anything.
Let's start with the
What you got, Chief?
Chief.
I've only got a couple things. We just took possession of our new engine one in January. That was about, I remember right, about 2 years out. It will be in service here shortly. Once we receive it in-house, it usually takes, 15 to 30 days to outfit it and get all the equipment mounted and do all that type of stuff. So it should go into service here shortly. And our next apparatus will be coming in May of 2025. Is the hope that will be a new West Side Ladder Company, so that will go out to Station 3. So that's the current one that's on order. We have a really good fleet, but all the challenges of COVID and all the challenges of supply chain, and then everybody deciding to order them at the same time has put a long lead time on them, so that's evened out quite a ways. So good news is, thanks to our city council and city manager, we have kept up on ordering every year. We essentially get a new apparatus every year. So when we order an engine, that's fully paid for with 1 year's budget cycle. We get a ladder truck, we take that over 2 budget cycles just because of the cost of the ladder truck. But for all practical purposes, we're getting one every year, and that keeps us in compliance with the National Fire Protection Association's recommendations of 15 years as frontline service and then 5 years as reserve apparatus. So our frontline equipment is in all in excellent shape, and reserve trucks, even though they're starting to get dated at that point, are just in excellent shape as well. So
We'll be seeing them on the St. Patty's Day parade.
we don't do the parades anymore just because we don't want to take our frontline apparatus and dedicate it to a parade. We just have too much volume. So we made a choice a few years ago to just close out the parades. So
Quiet day that
20 or
day.
25 years ago, we were in the parade regularly, but again, I mean, we're running, we're at 15,000 calls a year, which has probably more than tripled since I was hired.
15,000 calls a year.
Yeah.
They're not all
Just
fires.
under 15,000.
They're not all fires.
15,000, yeah, but yeah, about 14,700-ish last year.
Is that including like medical?
Yep. That includes
Medical as
everything.
well as
That
fire?
includes everything.
Because I
Yeah,
knew
that's everything.
the thing about Hiawatha was having to answer more because of emergency medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency room, so it was
Yeah.
not an emergency, but
Right.
they still had
Right,
that.
that is all of our incidents that we respond to, yeah, yep. So, just because of that, we just decided, and we were getting parade requests, not just St. Patty's Day, but neighborhood parades and
Yeah.
Halloween parades.
Sure. We're in the end of February. We had 1 week of nasty, how does it look as far as fires and things in homes this year than in previous years? Is it down because of the warm weather? Is it pretty much the same?
It's the same.
It's the same.
We used to say that, the wintertime, the heating season, all that would lead to more fires. And there's some truth to that. I mean, we do get some chimney fires and some things like that. Obviously, the wintertime, if we're not gonna get the summertime. But I would say the reason why fires pick up is people are home more, they're inside their homes more, so it just kind of change. Not that we don't get it in the summertime too, but just change the nature of people are inside, people are cooking a lot inside. I mean, it's just that nature of things. Lighting candles, yes.
It's getting the grill through the door. Once you get it inside, everything usually works pretty good.
That's happened.
Okay. There you go.
It's much warmer.
Yeah, warms the kitchen up while you're cooking. It's great. Anybody have any more questions for Chief Smith from
I
our
just got a
fire
couple of
department?
things too that I'll just add to this is, we have 10 new employees, and so they will start on March 4th. Just got word today that they have all passed their pre-employment physicals. So we will start a 9-week recruit academy on March 4th, and that will bring us back up to full staffing for a short time. And so, and then something you may see in the near future that we're talking about, this is born a little bit out of the chalet fire that happened back in December, is we're going to start talking a lot more about a close your door campaign. So if you find the fire between you and the exit, close as many doors between you and that exit as you can. And obviously in a single family home, you have a lot more opportunities for multiple means of egress, but in an apartment, when you're on the 3rd floor, sometimes that becomes challenging if you don't have an emergency ladder or something like that. So one of the challenges we found was a number of the occupants left their doors open, and that just filled and charged their apartments with smoke. So close your front door, close your, go to the bedroom, close that door. And that will buy you a lot of time. Seen some more on that. So that is all that I've got. I will be here. I got to leave at about 7:30 or so. So I'll be here till then. But if there's any other issues, just let me know.
Okay, next is our city update from our city representative, Ms. Betsy.
Hello, I'm Betsy. I work in community development. So first I want to talk about the Enroll in Citizens Police Academy. So it's only $30 to enroll in this program that lasts, I think it's 8 weeks. And you need to be at least 18 years of age. But if you enroll in the program, you can shoot guns and drive police cars and get to see firsthand what it's like to be a police officer. You get to work with the police department directly, so it's a pretty cool program in my opinion. We also have a Greenway Parks program going on. We're creating a plan to develop the waterfront area from basically the northwest neighborhood all with Newing and a whitewater rafting area. It's a pretty cool plan, and it really helps with the flood control system because you don't want to develop in an area where it's going to flood into anyways. So we're creating parks in those areas. And so it creates a community amenity. Well, we want to get the community's input on what do you want to see there. So we're creating a survey, we're having an open house, and the open house is going to be it's not on here, is it? It's Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Newville City Market. So if you have that time available, go show up, look at all the plans, look at all the possible amenities that can be there, and give your input on it. And then right now, Parks and Recreation is hiring for seasonal employees. So if you know anyone that's looking for a part-time job over the summer, there are opportunities for them.
I got just clarification. The open house.
Thursday.
Yep, the 22nd.
This very next Thursday. Yep.
Okay.
At Newville City Market.
Great. I heard something the other day that Newbo's wanting to expand. Can you
Yes,
talk
so
about that a little
there-
bit?
This is not a city-led initiative, so I'm not talking about this from a city perspective.
Right.
I have heard that New Bow City Market is trying to add on a grocery store. And they're gonna invite, the co-op, New Pioneer co-op to be maybe second level addition, or, yeah, some sort of an addition to New Bow.
So another building will be built to
Not
occupy
necessarily
that?
another building, it will either be an addition to that building or like a second level in some sort of way where New Bow will have their own area.
I understand.
And then that brings-
Mezzanine or something.
Okay.
And I don't know what's gonna fall in mezzanine, but I don't know which portion of it,
Yeah.
that's my understanding.
Yeah, so what they're gonna try to do is, so initially when the building was constructed, there was thoughts about being a second floor.
Right.
And like a lot of developments, you run out of money. So now they're raising about $2.5 million to fund that renovation. They're actually doing pretty well. Halt Ryan was very generous, got a kickstart. And then so they're gonna move the area that's currently on the first floor up to the second floor, and then the grocery
Over by
store,
the kitchen area?
that's gonna be upstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, you move that
Yeah.
upstairs and put the
The
grocery
grocery
store.
store on the first floor. And the thought is to say that the store is from outside, and so if the market is closed, then you can access the store. Grocery store, I think folks have to probably limit their expectations. It's gonna be smaller. I think it's called something about market basket.
More like a bodega.
Yeah, and it's one of the things they're gonna try to do is have farmers be able to not only grow their produce, but then bring it to market and sell it. So they'll have a way for farmers, especially immigrant farmers, that they're really good at growing, but don't understand marketing or go to market. So that's going to be a priority. And then they're just going to have more event space, and it's going to be really nice. And I think they're on a nice track to.
Are they gonna maintain the kitchen area back in there, or is that gonna
I
go
think
away?
that's going to go upstairs.
That'd be interesting.
And yeah, because I know Kirkwood used to have a lot of equipment in that space,
Yes.
and they've moved out.
Yeah.
So there's not as much there, but it's pretty used for classes. The classes have been extremely successful there. A lot of interest, not just for cooking, but it's a community space, and I think they're going to try to build upon that.
Okay. Anybody have anything within the city you'd like to?
Heard about wanting to do something with the stadium area, Rockford Road development. What's that?
It's called the Rockford Road Micro Area Plan, and it's basically, a lot of it has to do with putting in pedestrian amenities, so more seating, more lighting. The whole plan was based off of stakeholders. So we invited local business owners and people that lived in the neighborhood to come and participate. And we asked what they wanted to see happen, and that's what drove the entire plan. Some of the main things, like I said, were pedestrian amenities, but also the area is the veterans, right? So maybe really highlighting that and pushing that. And that corner where 8th Avenue and Rockford Road is, there's like a plane there, there's some other things. Well, there's no access to even get up and see them or learn anything about them. So maybe highlight that and put, a pedestrian access up to those amenities, up to those.
I thought they had a walkway up to our.
No, they can walk on the grass. I mean, that's what we do.
Right, well, think about ADA compliance and people that are in wheelchairs. And maybe just highlighting the fact that this is a veterans area, that, we are really giving support to and history of our local veterans within that area. And again, adding more pedestrian amenities, making it more accessible, and potentially encouraging more retail and more restaurants in that area.
Where would those go?
Well, what we're doing is potentially rezoning the area. Everyone that's there right now won't ever be pushed out.
Everyone that's where, on the stadium side of Rockford?
Rockford Road.
But not
On
the
the other
businesses on the,
Well, even the
Over
businesses
by the
on the
railroad
other
tracks.
side.
They'll
So
stay.
if those businesses on the other side decide to sell, that we would encourage them to sell to a commercial type retail, to more,
As opposed to warehouse.
as opposed to warehouse, as
And
opposed
then
to.
there's
That's
some houses
interesting
too.
because-
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, I walk there all the time.
Yeah.
4 of those warehouses are brand new, they've just redone them.
Right. So this might not happen for 40 plus years.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Right. But if they were to resell, we would encourage them to resell them to a commercial type property to encourage that type of development.
Are we gonna finally get a sidewalk along 15th Street then? Because there's no sidewalk on 15th Street at all by Mason Stadium, either side of the street.
Oh, okay, on the other side.
Right,
Yeah.
so, I mean, if that's, because that's one of the things we talked about, we finally got on the south side of Cleveland Park.
Right.
Because we had none on 8th Avenue either, but there's still none on 15th Street at all.
So-
And would make obviously, we had talked about making, kind of a pedestrian walkway, including Cleveland and then around the stadiums.
Right.
But that's the big gap there.
The plan doesn't include that side of 15,
Oh,
but the
Well-
paving for progress plans do including sidewalks as we develop. Yeah, once that street needs to be
And we had asked Scott Olson, it's not like we ever got an answer back, that you're right up by Jefferson.
The whole thing.
There were some neighbors that contested having their actual, and they won. They were able to, fight the system to make sure that part of it was that the grade was so different.
That's
that-
Chandler,
Oh, okay.
18th Street, nobody complained.
Nobody?
No, they just didn't get it.
Not this guy.
They resurfaced it into a complete street on it.
And
Yeah.
so many
But-
kids walk up there to
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, but the problem is that there's no sidewalks, so the kids are walking in the streets, down the streets, and
Yeah,
It's-
Chandler.
we never really
and this-
could understand that.
I actually helped present to the city council
Yes.
that night on behalf of the Chandler people, because there it was crazy. I mean, the houses were there, the grades, it would not have worked, any
Right.
engineer other than just looking at it. But
Lose a lot of
18th
trees,
Street,
and
That's a main thoroughfare and right up to the school, that was,
25 is a suggestion.
Okay,
During
yeah,
the
suggestion.
morning, that's not what the kids drive.
No.
I apologize, I
Okay,
misunderstood
dogs.
which
Yeah.
street you were talking about, but I can look into it and I can get back to you.
appreciate it, yes, Scott
Yeah.
did.
But back to 15th, from 8th Avenue down to 14th,
Yeah,
or to the baseball stadium down bottom, there's not safe sidewalk for people. And if you're talking about a,
It's
There
farther
is-
down
Progress
on
has
this.
There is on the
Right.
west side,
yeah,
farther
Partially,
down.
yeah.
right,
But
But-
nothing on the stadium side, which is where it's really needed.
that's exactly right. That's the side I thought we were talking about, that's the side it really needs to have. So, especially in dark.
Yeah,
But if you're talking about pedestrian activities, we need sidewalks, and even on 15th from Rockford Road over to the baseball stadium, they just put in a new building for the schools for their stuff in there, and they did all that work in there, but I didn't see any new sidewalks go in.
Is there a way,
And I thought that was sort of
Betsy and or maybe David, is there a way that you guys could essentially print like a map of what development at Rockford Road would include for pedestrian walking paths, and then potentially and the paving for progress, just to see where there's like gaps that may need to be filled in, and then we can review it at the next meeting? Well, maybe April, but I just don't know, like, with all the little plans, I think sometimes, like, even just communicating the information to neighbors, like, one day we're talking about 18th Street, then we're talking about 15th Street, and then the messages get mixed. So I'm curious what's already in the works, and then what maybe just being at.
Yeah, I will look into that and I will get back to you about it.
No.
But anyway, we're always looking for improvement in the sidewalks. Yeah, have more sidewalk because we know people like to walk.
Yeah, and we're stressing where they're needed and not where they're not needed. You know, putting the money the right places, you know, is what we're really stressing. And getting out, talking to neighbors, and not making assumptions.
And that's a homeowners,
Right.
and that's a wide open area that really, really needs it. Okay, anything else we'd like to? Ashley is not here tonight, but we do have David Mayer,
Yes.
our new and improved, enlarged.
So,
How large are you?
yeah, larger than I'd like to be, but thanks for having me tonight. And I'm going to try not just this negotiation, but throughout the years, continue to attend meetings. So at least you have a face and I have a face, and if there's ever any questions or concerns, or reach out. I know the city attends all the meetings, which is great. Just some additional thoughts on that Betsy hasn't chatted about yet. So one of the things we've been working on in the city council is the budget. So we went through the first draft. So my background is accounting and finance, and binder was 400 pages, about 2.5 inches thick. And you know, I went through every page, and Jeff Pomerantz, the city manager, I think was a little surprised by the number of questions I had. Not most of them were clarifications. I think the budget is, I mean, they're excellent at pulling it together. I think for me, the questions were maybe more tactical. So let's say, for example, they would have, the city owns the concessions at various facilities throughout the city, and they would have concession revenue going up 30%, but cost of sales flat. You would think, well, if your revenue is going up, your cost of sales is going up. So those are the types of questions I had. But I think that, you know, there's really no significant cuts this year. No drain on reserves. The city has about $44 million in reserves, and they didn't need to pull money from those reserves in order to cover expenses. You know, I do expect in the next couple of years things to get tougher as see some of the impacts of what's happening at the state as far as how municipalities can raise money and generate revenue. Any questions on the budget? And that's just like a preliminary read. It won't be approved until the state will. You know, it's funny, we have these meetings at city council for the budget. Not a lot of community input. People that show up, but man, you talk about cats and neutering and bubbles over by the country club going up for pickleball courts, and people get all excited. Do know, sure that it's up to where it needs to be.
As part of the budgeting that we are really involved with, myself and our committee here, is we see so much more stuff placed in the parks pile of stuff that has to be taken care of, and they spend a lot of their money on the riverfront between First Avenue and Third Avenue, refurbishing. Now we're seeing them do it different again.
Yeah.
And some of the parks, and ours is included, were short of opportunities because the money was being piled in to redo something we already redone. And I'm just wondering, as the numbers, the amount of land that the Parks Department is being asked to maintain and improve, is their budget going up to match that, or are they trying to do it all with the same budget that they had before?
I can give my perspective, Betsy, if you would. You know, the Greenway Park, a lot of that is with flood control system money. So they had to make changes to that area, and so you can't build on it, so it's going to be a park. So the building of it, or the construction of it, is flood control system. The maintenance would come out of the parks budget, and there are part of the budget. This is a piece of it I thought was really interesting. So at page 390 out of 400, there's a list of requests that weren't funded, and I know the fire department had the most. And I think it's their wish. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's more of a wish list that these are
more priority items.
Yeah. It's not, and that's the way you should do it, right? You should put everything on the table. This is what we want in an ideal world. But I don't recall the park district having a big. I do remember, and I don't have the details, but it did strike me that there were some on the budget for capital for parks. There was more playgrounds, that it seemed like next year's budget for playgrounds dipped and then kind of went up a couple years later. And I was just questioning all the things we're gonna come playgrounds, So I wanted to make sure that was, and I haven't gotten responses to those questions yet, but there weren't significant cuts. I was aware, but I also don't know any funding wishes that weren't fulfilled.
Well, when we talked to them at the Parks Department about it, and I went down and discussed it with our last leader before the one we have now, and they said that our funds are going to the riverfront. So we don't have any money to improve your parking lot, to fix your roof, to add this to it. And so no requests because there was no reason to. This money is going to help to do this riverfront green space. And so a lot of the money that we could be using is important to do there because of the flood control. So I'm just wondering, has the budget gone back up now allowing? I've got a new redone parking lot, bigger and very nice, and we're looking forward to having it now. But we've gone a long time without it with the reason of it. And I just wondered, as they got new parks and new areas that they're going to be increasing at all for them to be able to sufficiently take care of that.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'll have to go back and look. Betsy, I don't know if you have any input on that.
I don't right now, but I don't work in the Parks Department, so I can talk with them about it and find some information.
But we're doing good now. We have as our association put money into it, and they have matched it, or it has made it happen. We put in as much as we could, and they're making it happen.
The Park Association are both putting lots of and
they had 2 dogs on leashes, and they came by and said, "Thank you for cleaning up our park." So I introduced myself, told them what we were doing, and they said, "We love your park because it's always clean, it's always well maintained, and we're very comfortable being there." And and they live down the hill a ways towards 10th, but basically come up here. I feel that we're getting there to being a destination, not just a park to drive by, but we've had to fight some losing battles, but we keep fighting them, and eventually it's starting to come back to us. Right now, our big thing's a new roof on there, and they said that they've already allotted for that, and that's something that's going to be done this spring. And then we're working with Sharon with a mural to put on the wall. Stephanie. There were so many names down there, but anyway, we're doing some stuff with that, and we're gonna get Gail and then his wonderful wife to think about in the next 6 months or so. Is there something else that would fit into that playground without being overburdening? It would be a new option. for the kids to want to play on. So in your travels, you look at other playgrounds like you did before for me and find that answer for me. Just be aware that we're going to ask you again to put forth some good information for us.
Road trip with lunch again, that'd be fun.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Thank
They
you.
were very important.
But, I noticed you've got on there, here to talk about the dinner with the mayor.
Yes.
In March. If there's anything that you want her specifically to address or any questions, Nicole, just want to email me and I can just give her a heads up. She can just do any research on them or.
Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds good.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Be careful.
Bye, Chief. Okay,
Just one thing on the mural you mentioned. So before I was serving on the, but Stephanie will reach out to the neighborhood association, something she already has. And so the neighborhood association will have input on, you know, the artists and the style of the mural and.
Yeah, we went down, we reached out to her, through Betsy.
Yeah.
And, they got hooked up and we've got some good ideas, but
Yeah.
we're waiting to, they want to know what we want. And we don't know what we want until we talk to the artists to see what's going to fit the idea of inclusion on the wall. So we're waiting for that. I don't want the paint companies has volunteered to give us some paint
That's awesome.
to 6-7 gallons, whatever we need.
Are
And-
we paying Stephanie?
Huh?
Are we paying her?
Paying Stephanie? No, she works for the city in the art department.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Because there are high school students too that do murals. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good.
no, she's just curating. the
She just curated for it and
ideally, this is a no-cost project. It's just one that's going to happen.
I mean, it will be a cost project.
there'll be a cost to the pay
The artists,
artists.
yes,
But you'll get recompensated.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Never, it won't cost me, it'll be cost the city, but a nice mural that does inclusion. Love what we did with our water box and that, but this is a big area that we were kind of hoping that we could get local artists. We demanded a local artist, not somebody from another state or another country. We
What do you
actually,
mean by inclusion?
It's reflecting the variety of kids that we have at the park.
yeah,
Okay.
right with the option of
It means a lot of different things.
Yeah, we had talked about, like, way back in the fall,
Yeah.
where we want it to be a space where everyone feels welcome. So
Right.
while it's not specifically going to say inclusion, it would be something that is something that everyone can approach and say, I resonate with that. And try to
We
be
have
as,
so many nationalities that are there. so
Absolutely.
Right, and that, we can't
It's already
focus on one, but we want to focus on something that says, you're welcome here, which is what the city thing is. But I can't see a picture of what it would be. And hopefully we have an artist who will come in and say, I have these ideas and we can pick from the one we like and then trim it to what we want. And then when it's all done, we can look at it and say, yeah, that's what I wanted it to
and
say.
ultimately, these are things that we want to make sure every single neighbor has the information and every single neighbor is seeing this. So
Mhm.
while we kind of push pause on our postcards, like this would be something very, very relevant that would be going out to
Right.
every single of
Yeah.
our 900 plus households that
Right.
says, we need your input, either come to this meeting or go online, or yes, there needs to be action on it, not just, we're gonna decide in a monthly meeting and not tell anybody. Like,
Yeah.
it needs to be it needs to be communicated to everyone.
It's still in this infancy right now as to what we're doing, but I feel like we have the connection with the right people to start the growth.
It's definitely great.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned local, as a group, I would recommend you come to some consensus on what local means. Does it mean Cedar Rapids? Does it mean in other parks? And local, just like inclusion means different things to different people. Local
We'd like
also
someone
means-
in the Cedar Rapids area, and we understand there's a lot of talent
Yeah, I
in the
think
Cedar
that's-
Rapids area. If we're no bigger than the wall is, we're sure that we could find somebody in here, because I just want I want to support
that's-
local Cedar Rapidians and give them an opportunity to show their work and to shine, and to help us to, because they understand what we're trying to do and how our city is. And they can split that where possibly somebody in Iowa City or in Davenport or Des Moines would not be able to really feel what we're trying to feel with it. So that's why I wanted to stay with that. But it's
Is it just under the pavilion?
just underneath the overhang, yeah,
Okay.
including the doors. So, but I ran into a girl out of Menards a while back, and she is a representative for Dutch Boy Paint. And I was telling her about it, you know, and she comes in with these big 5-gallon buckets full of paint. She like 8 of them on a cart, and she's rolling them in, and it says, change your mind on the color? And she said, no, I'm delivering these for a painter contractor. I'm the liaison or the representative for Dutch Boy Paint. I says, ooh, I want to talk to you. And after I told them what you're doing, she says, they allow me gallons of paint of different colors and stuff. And she says, we have paint that for outdoors that doesn't fade. And she says, I would love to donate what you need to paint
Is
it.
covered in the cost of the whole thing.
Well,
It's
if
gonna
we
reduce
just
the
make it
price so
free,
much,
yeah,
$100.
we get it for free. We get 5, 6, 7 different colors that they would need. And here again, the artist would be the ones that we would want to work with to make sure we get the right combination for them to do the job that they want to. But I felt that was a nice step in the right direction, is to have somebody representing a company, a paint company that big. Say yes. And she had gave me another opportunity to possibly get paint also from another company. Remember that?
No, that's the Keep Iowa Beautiful grant.
Yeah.
We would have to
Okay.
apply for that.
Okay. But anyhow, I thought, okay, if she's gonna give me 5 or 6 gallons of paint, that's going to work with it. Yeah. Yeah, but we can spend it on something else.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's where we've gone with it. Tried to stop and see her, talk to her, and she's been gone or out of the office for a while. So hopefully in the next 30 days or so, we can get together and see where that goes, and then bring it back and continue on with it. So anyway,
Okay,
that's where we're
let's
at
keep
on
it
that.
going.
Yes, we got 15 minutes left. Can board nominations. We are going to lose our secretary this summer. She is moving on to other things. And so we are asking everybody to come out, and if they have nominations for president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, if you have someone that's interested in coming in and helping support this, moving it on to, we'll have elections in April.
Oh, that's, yeah. Yeah,
March
it's
won't be
April, yeah.
available, so in April we'll have an election. And like I said, I'm doing this for 11 years, and I'm kind of thinking, okay, am I bringing this as much as I can? Is there somebody here that's got better ideas and better things that they can do? I enjoy what I do. I have a lot of fun with it, and we try real hard to do the right things within the parameters we're allotted, but maybe somebody else has a better idea, a new direction that we can go that I don't see, and I don't see everything. So I might not be seeing something that is very important. There's somebody else that I don't know how to take care of, and they might be able to. So if you know anybody out there that's taking over and leading this into the future, I'm more than happy to let them take the reins also. But if they don't, then don't tell my wife I said this, but I really would consider doing it for another year, so.
We'll nominate you again.
I was gonna say, do
Very
we
good
want to
with that,
actually
yes.
open it where we're accepting formal nominations tonight? Because we're not gonna have a lot of time in March, is what I'm saying. So at this point, I would like to open it for formal nominations.
All right, I nominate George for president.
Type this out, you guys can't talk too fast.
Yes, we can.
And then
Don't
George,
nominate.
do you accept the nomination?
Tentatively, yes.
You will close nominations tonight, are you?
No, not at all. We'll accept them via email, and then we'll also accept them at the March meeting, and then the formal vote will happen in April. I completely forgot about March not being the month that we vote, sorry.
So, but talk around if you have somebody that, interested. I have several people who wanted to see our newsletters and go online where we're at to see what we're doing. And I'm very proud of what we have done over the last few years as far as getting online and getting out there to let people know. And our meetings being aired on, and the number of people that watch part or all of it, and other people that come on from other parts of the country to see what we're doing is pretty cool to me.
And as somebody
So-
that goes to a lot of the neighborhood associations, meetings, you guys do more than a lot of the others.
Yeah.
So
Kudos to you. We're not trying to see what others do so we can do. We just try to do what we feel is the best for ours and how we can extend it to be. So we appreciate what other ones bring to the table when we have our quarterlies, but we really look for us. When we first started this 11 years ago, we went into their first meeting and it was scary. We didn't know, and we were trying to figure out what a 501c3 was and if you could buy one at Walmart. So, I know there's coming colors, but now, 11 years later, we've got a strong association. We have a very good neighborhood. We have a lot of ideas and gathering, and us, the two of us here, even the three of us up here, will stand on the highest hill and proclaim the success of our park and the playground, that we worked with the city and they worked with us. And there's more coming, but
And while you guys are probably mad at me that I'm not going to be accepting any sort of nomination to continue, I know that whoever fills my role I'm not gonna just disappear. I'm still gonna come to the meetings and participate, so, don't think you're gonna get rid of me, sorry.
We can still be mad at you, right?
Yeah, you're still welcome to be mad at me, absolutely, yes, absolutely. My husband was a little mad at first too, so he doesn't even come to the meeting, so. But I want to wrap up the nomination. So I would like to formally nominate Amy Hall-Haney to continue on as treasurer. Will you accept your nomination?
Yes.
All right. Any other nominations right now?
No. Do we have current board members?
These three.
You're the officers, but there's,
I
like,
think
Other board
in
members?
writing, I think
You're-
you three are the only others that have
so,
accepted.
so Brandon, if you, want to be a board member, it's not an official thing, but partially for me, I get a company match if we donate neighborhoods, so there's some benefits me from your company if you, for helping get anything done. Brandon's our neighbor.
Oh,
so-
wait,
Brandon.
Leah, Brandon?
To the east.
Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Nicole. I'm Leah. I've never met you before. It's nice to meet you formally.
Well, I'm just lucky enough to be here, I guess. So just wanted to
well,
come
we're
participate.
fortunate enough to have you.
We love when neighbors attend more than just the usual suspects, so thank you.
Very cool.
Any other formal nominations? Otherwise, I will close them for tonight. Formally nominate me. Okay. And you accept.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right, closed at 7:50 p.m.
He's getting in. He's in here.
Agenda.
He's in here.
Secretary.
Matt,
That's it.
have I ever denied you?
No, you always give me a chance. I'm Matt Wagner, I'm a Safe CR coordinator. I'm a civilian employee at the police department. I have some stats from last year from Safe CR. We had 1,350 founded calls for service for the year. It affected 1,164 properties. We had 428 nuisance properties. Big accomplishment for the program was we received 35 nuisance property abatement plans. What that means is with every nuisance property designation, we send out an optional form that property owners or managers can fill out to acknowledge the nuisance activity and let us know how they're going to eliminate it in the future. So that was a big number for us. Previous year, we only received 19 nuisance property abatement plans, so we were excited for that. With that nuisance property abatement plan, they also receive 15 extra days before the billing period starts, so there is some incentive there for them as well. We sent out 62 bills for time at nuisance properties, which was a fairly high number. That affected 40 properties, so some of those bills went to the same properties over and over again, unfortunately. The total we billed property owners was $13,366.05. We've already received $7,110.37.
Matt, what was the first number? 13,001?
$306.05.
Thank you.
Is what we billed. Then we received judgments for $6,521.40. And if those judgments go unpaid, they're turned over to the Iowa Income Set-Off Program for collection. We did have property owners or tenants appeal 11 of our notices. We did win all of those 11 appeals. With each notice we send out, property owners and occupants a community resource packet with options for ways that they can help bring their properties into compliance. Another thing, is there any landlords in the meeting? As of January 1 of this year, we partnered with C4 Operations to do our background checks for landlords here in town. They're a local company, which is exciting for us. They're here in Cedar Rapids. They offer a landlord business permit holder $15.50 package for background checks, which we think are very good for property owners to be able to identify what type of people they're renting to.
Is that something over there by Arby's?
Yep. Yeah.
I've seen their sign.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road from us.
Yep. And if you do want to utilize their service, there is a type of, you contact them and onboarding so that they can get your account set up, to streamline that process. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I can help guide you through that process. Most city staff, that's the only way that they find out if there's a concern in the neighborhood, and they're usually very quick at getting them to the right division to get those responded to in a timely fashion.
We show up, knock on doors. Be surprised. The fools open it. Here I am. I have a question.
Matt, we do still have on the homepage of our website at the bottom where you can actually just click in and it goes to the My CR page.
Yep.
Is every so I want to make sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
All righty. Everything, Matt? You
Yes,
good?
sir.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for coming. Park updates. The spring they're going to put new roof on. We already talked about the mural opportunity. I went out and did a cleanup. I did half the park and had half a bag, but I felt it was really pretty good this year. We did not have a lot of junk and garbage. Did find a baseball I gave my grandson, but overall the park is in real good shape. The sod they put down after they did all the ADA work last fall is looking real good, and I think we're gonna have a beautiful park. They're gonna come and paint lines on the parking lot this spring to get that open, and we have a beautiful big parking lot now. It's amazing. And when they did it, normally in the wintertime or in the spring, when we have a lot of snow, I have a lot of water running from the park and the basement. But even with this large amount that we had last month, it didn't run in my backyard at all, or my neighbors. Everything has been really good since they've redone it, and changed the grade enough that it's now running away from down the hills to where we really need them to go. So kudos to the Parks Department for getting that done for us this last fall. And looking forward to having a nice park that gets used a ton. But other than that, we're just going to stay the course for now as far as the park, and look at other opportunities to use the park in a way. We're going to turn it over now to Amy. She's going to talk a little bit about the Easter egg hunt.
Okay, we had one last year, and we debated, we had 60 or 70 children there, but somewhere in there, so we're going to say we overplanned, so we do have some leftovers with the budget here. So instead of just throwing them all out and the kids just go hog wild, we've numbered all of the eggs, thanks to the youth group here. We're going to give them an egg carton, and they have to find eggs numbered 1 to 12, fill their egg carton, bring it in, and instead of all the candy in there and all the mess, and you have to buy them all over again, we just had little brown sacks with same kind of toys. And actually, you get bigger toys, you're pretty kids. You know, the candy, yeah, you know, Tootsie Roll fits, but we had things like, I don't know if it's flicker, like we used to call them the Chinese finger thing, that kind of thing. So bigger things, still cheap, thanks to Oriental Trading and Windy City Novelties. So I think we'll count on about 80, 90 kids. The church people will probably help me some with tables and all, but if you want to volunteer, it's 10 to 11. It goes pretty fast. So.
What's the date?
The 30th of March, the day before Easter. Easter is early this year. So we haven't worked out all the bugs, but kind of like we did last year.
It was fun. I came over and we helped pack the bags with the goods, and
yeah, we lined up all the bags here.
We had about 8, 9 women in here.
We put out white paper plates, and so we put out 80 plates, and then we just made sure everybody had 10 items or whatever it was. Put them in the bag so all the kids get the same thing. And we did have some parents say that was so much better than this dad, and they're just throwing it.
And they come in with 2 6s and say, no, this is a 9. No, we already know this. You gotta go back and get another 9.
So other neighborhoods had complained about that, so they were happy to hear your guys' solution.
Yeah, and that was from our minister, and he just said, okay, well, we worked it out. We didn't have egg cartons last year, they just brought them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try this. You see, it reads the same way.
And just to clarify, because we have the leftover stuff from last year and the church is contributing, there are no costs this year, correct?
No, that's not.
What are the costs compared to last year?
We're reusing the eggs, which is good, but we're still going, we had like 300 toys left, but with 90 kids, that's 3 toys. So I'm going to ask for 400. I don't think I'll spend that much, but I need some leeway between candy and toys, and I will try to be conservative. Because we spent 600 last year, but probably close to 200 was the eggs and that. So I just want some leeway.
Do we have a motion to? Okay, motion by seconded. All in favor? Opposed?
And we'll get info on our, I'm sorry, what?
I thought it was well run last year.
And this year we kind of know what we're doing.
And I plan to help.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did your parents come last year? I don't remember.
I've been involved with Easter egg hunts specifically in When I was growing up, when I was teenage years, my mom was always in charge of those. And one of the things that she found most successful was starting the youngest kids first. I assume that's one of the things that you guys already have.
We kind of have about the same age kids, and see with the 1, 2, 3 kind of slows everybody down. So
Yeah.
it's not like everybody just goes and fills their basket.
Yeah, you only get 12 eggs.
And you only get
Rather
12,
than
and you
rushing
only
them.
get 12 eggs.
You know, but there's certain 12 eggs. You can't just go grab 12 eggs and come and say, look at me.
They
Say,
are,
wait a minute,
yeah,
you
but
got 3 nines here. Come on.
And then we did have more left over, and so we said, well, just go get 12 more, and then we gave them more bags. So
We didn't want to go out and pick up another 130 eggs that were laying on the ground, so we sent them back out. And we had the bags, they had the ambition. We got all the eggs cleaned up, but 2 I found later on. So I thought that was pretty good, pretty cheap labor.
Is it at the park or is it?
Yeah, right over
here, just throw it out by the, I don't know.
And we did ask Hillside Wesleyan?
Yes.
I can't remember, the one up for Samuel Jessica English is, we did ask if they want to participate, and they cannot, but they are interested in National Night Out, which I will push pause on that, because I have a thing to update you guys on after.
Did
other
we have a
business.
date for that, not National Night Out?
It is the first Tuesday in August, I'll have to double check, actually.
I lost my note.
We'll get to that, sorry, we have like 2 other quick things, because it's 8
Okay.
o'clock, we want to get you guys out of here.
Yeah. March meeting will be dinner with Mayor Tiffany O'Donnell, and Nicole's going to fill us in on.
Yes, so, Mayor Tiffany maybe be a little bit more intimate rather than a formal meeting. This will be starting at 6:30 at our normally scheduled Monday meeting time on Monday, March 18th. It'll still probably go until about 8 o'clock, just like normal. The menu is going to include pasta, meatballs, and garlic bread that will be provided by Mayor Tiffany and her family. And then the neighborhood association will be providing salad with dressing, lemonade, and water. There's absolutely no cost for this, but neighbors are encouraged, of course, to bring dessert. We are asked to keep it at 25 maximum attendees. That's very hard with it being 900 plus households. So we're going to try to RSVP through our website. It will be limited to the first 25 RSVP, so we're asking to keep it to 2 per household as a maximum, just to get as many different families there as possible. The messaging that Mayor O'Donnell wanted us to share was with events like this, Mayor O'Donnell intends to create a space for meaningful conversations with the community. Growing up in O'Donnell has cherished memories of Sunday dinners that brought family together. For her, family dinners are more than just a meal. They are a time to connect, share ideas, welcome new people, and build new bonds. The mayor would like to share a similar experience with neighborhood associations this year. So again, it'll be more informal. We'll still officially call the meeting to order at 7, address any business that needs to be handled very quickly, and then just leave it as like an open dining experience. Hope this RSVP thing works on the website. I usually handle events for thousands of people, not 25. So we'll see how this, so please bear with me. If you connect with any of your neighbors that are interested that maybe don't have internet access, feel free to get them in touch with me. However, maybe I'm happy to communicate with them and get them on the list. So.
In our church, since we got the kitchen here, the plates and all, it's not worth, coming out with 25 plates.
Yes,
So
and
the plates and
The
the,
paperwork.
and it's very low key, and obviously the church is willing to host us since we have our meetings here regularly. So normally scheduled programming just with a meal for once. So it should be enjoyable.
She should have been the pretty open lady. You guys all know that. And she was here in January or in November. She was here before the holidays in November, and she came in and talked about the park, and she had brought in some information that we were not aware of and shared it with us for that hour. And it was a lot of fun, and very enjoyed having her there, and a very real person. I think the world of her. But I won't be here, but I know you guys will have a good time.
Fun.
You should make time get to go to where it's warm.
Otherwise, obviously open the floor to other business. The only thing I wanted to share before I forget, and then Rose, sorry. So National Night Out is always the first Tuesday in August. We always do this event. We haven't formalized a budget or anything, but we typically have $1,000 spend. That's what it's been in our budget for the last 10 plus years. Going on that, I'm working with the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy to get a quote to see how much it would cost for them to come in. My guess is going to be between $300 and $500. That's what the going rate was last I knew. So I don't think we'll have any issue coming up with that as part of our budget, since we never ever spend the full $1,000 anyway. But I just want to let everybody know that I'm in communications with that. So if you have any other ideas for the National Night Out event, please share that, because it'll come up faster than we realize. Same as with the safety fair. So.
Do we have a date for the safety fair?
Oh, probably.
I know, and I can't find my note, I'm sorry.
The safety fair we had for June 22nd.
Yep, Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 1, tentatively. So if anyone is interested in being part of that planning, please let me know, and I will probably send an email out in the next couple weeks with that.
So Mark, we have every summer we have David. What did I say, Mark? I'm sorry. I'm getting old, forgive me. Anyway.
I think called worse.
Last year we had 17 stations from 17 nonprofits. The police department was there, the fire truck, and we have a free meal lunch for them, which are usually hot dogs, chips, cookies, and a drink, water. And the kids and parents come. We've always had Mr. Sparks from the fire department, and McGruff comes, and we have Mr. Shucks from the Ball Diamond, and we rent Hurricane Hawk to come up and spend an hour with the kids up there, and the kids really enjoy that part of it, and really enjoy getting their down. And we have kind of a passport that each child's parents sign them up, they get the passport, and every station they go to, they get stamped or signed off. And then at the end, they're eligible for prizes that we get donated and we give away. Last year, we gave away 2 bicycles along with many other little prizes. And a year before, we gave away 1 bicycle, and I have 2 bicycles already going for this year. Then we give helmets out to the kids that are sponsored by
Giving away all the meat and potatoes just yet. We don't have it all planned.
But anyway, we have somebody we give away a couple car suits. It's all for wellness and health, wellness, and safety. And we have a great turnout, a good support group, and it's always worked out real well for us.
Speaking of safety, so the speed limit, I know we've gone over this many times, on 8th Avenue,
Right.
between 15th and 17th is 30. One direction, 25 the other way.
Going from the east to the west is 30.
Yes, and it's a park.
Yes.
We need to lower the speed limit. Parents park on the street and let their children out on the street side. Seriously, it's a safety issue. Someone's gonna get hit because people are not stopping at the stop signs anymore and they race down there. So I have a suggestion. There's a new roundabout by Nubo.
Yep.
And then they have a little speed bump, which isn't like this, but it slows people down. I think, no, it's not a speed bump, but it's a
Rise.
It's a rise.
It's a rise, they go up and come down, but you gotta slow down for it because
I cannot believe how fast those people go down that street.
well, yes, I would.
I'm
I
sorry.
was wondering about the speed signs that tells you how fast you're going.
I think people try to
I mean,
get as high as
as much light as we have coming from those street lights that are there, I would rather have it lit up to say, you are doing 45 and a.
But don't you think some of those high
20 or whatever
schoolers
it
would be
is.
like, yeah,
It's awful.
I'm doing 45.
It's terrible.
Where by Nubo you're talking about the speed hump?
It's that new,
16th or whatever the road's
Yeah.
going in.
it's that new roundabout.
16th and I think 2nd Avenue.
On the 15th Avenue Bridge. It's on the 15th Avenue Bridge, the end of the 15th Avenue
Yes,
Bridge
it's
and
right,
Second Street.
right after the
When you go to
gateway
the
to
east
whatever,
side.
yes.
But it's not like one of those that you really have to,
No, it's
But
not.
if you go over it, you
but
feel
it's an
it.
awareness thing.
Kind of like the Third Avenue bridges. Third Avenue. Bridge.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah,
Just something, because, I mean, the policeman tells us, we'll get their license plate number, or they're going so fast, or take a picture. I'm not doing that because
Yeah.
that's not the same thing.
that's not,
So,
they don't do that up on the interstate.
I'm a lieutenant.
They put a camera out.
Yeah.
So we can look at, we'll look with it, we'll talk to the new chief and see what we can, maybe have him come talk to and we can
I don't know
get
what
something
those
in that
names are called,
direction.
but I'm gonna try to
Speed bump?
describe it as best I can in there.
police car.
No.
Yeah.
It's been out for that.
They got one that they don't use anymore.
Or it'll have, it'll have.
Denise, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Speed limit and the numbers.
Yeah.
And then it has a radar thing that shoots out, and if
Yeah.
you're going the right speed, then it's green, and it says,
Yeah.
thank you, have a nice day, or it says,
Speed radar.
slow down, slow down, slow down.
Yeah.
Something like that's a little less.
Now, some of them, got a little camera, they take a picture of you with your license plate. And so when they say you're speeding, slow down, then they take your picture and it tells you how fast you were going and you get sent with a little fast driving award. You can't say, well, it wasn't me because we have your picture. They do that in Germany all the time. People come in and argue with that.
I don't want a child to get hit.
No, you do not. We agree 100% with you.
Because we're right there. and
Yeah.
I will send an email to Lieutenant Welch and I'll probably just copy Betsy if that's okay, with the ideas and then questions as far as like what's the process to get that, what constitutes getting it, and basically how do we get there, so.
Thank you.
Matt, thank you for coming. Betsy,
What time are we adjourning? It is
8:14:57.